Hey Gemini, it's Mary Ellen, coming to you from Moonrise Cottage for your August 2018 eclipse season reading. And it's a whopper. There are the cards. I want to show you something before we jump in, just really quickly. Spirit's been talking about please more and more, and it's getting very insistent. So I think as we go forward as a group, Spirit says there's going to be some more discussion coming from my spirit guides about what Spirit is calling the attenuation of your energy. Meeting within your cohort and asking people to please watch all the signs for your cohort. So if you're an air sign, watch all three and take a look at your moon sign, and just to help yourself begin to understand how the energy is moving and shifting, how it affects each other, what is your place in the tapestry within your cohort, and what do you bring? And what do your co-walkers bring? How can you connect to that? A lot of verbiage coming through like that. So in your reading today, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 major arcana cards. And Spirit says, and a little background story, right? But a very intense amount of energy. And I'm not ever surprised anymore when I do the air sign readings. And it's because of your nature. The sky, the universe, the way in which you connect through your etheric body, all the things I've talked about in the last year and a half. So take a look at Aquarius, your cardinal sign leader. Look at that. Every single card in the body of the reading is a major arcana card. And there's a prophecy as an outcome. So Spirit just wants me to show you so that you can have a moment to absorb the connection that you really have and the subtle differentiation in the microtones Spirit's been talking about. You know, if we were talking about music, it would be microtones. So within every single note, there are 22 microtones. Ponder that, Spirit says. So there we are, back to your cards, and very similar, aren't they? Very interesting. Some of the same principles, but the attenuation is different. So, you know, I'm realizing I haven't said hello. Hang on. Hey, everybody. It's really good to be here with you. Thank you for being here. If you're new, welcome. And for everybody that's been following along with me, I really appreciate it. I love your energy. I love having you here. So this month, because of all the activity that's been going on with the eclipses and the trines, and Pluto standing across the sky from the water trine, and Jupiter and Venus and everything that's retrograde, driving us really deep, and we see it in your cards. So, you know, just take a look at some of the other elemental signs. Take a look at what's going on with the earth signs. Take a look at what's going on with the fire signs. And if you haven't seen the Cancer or the Scorpio reading, go check it out. It's mind-blowing. And for you, because of your attenuation, it's all about the mingling of the element of the air. Phenomenal reading coming forward. I'm going to toggle back to the cards. Just want you to know, Mercury is in retrograde. I've been having trouble with my tongue, and I've been making funny little mistakes with the viewer. The other day I was chatting. I can't even remember anymore. One of the readings. And I suddenly realized I had not pressed the right button. So I was talking along, and everybody in the audience was seeing a black screen. So let's hope that doesn't happen. But I'm just acknowledging. All right, so we're going to jump in. Spirit is also saying there's one other thing you need to know. Spirit has asked me to step out of the driver's seat because of the moment, because of the intensity of the energy, so that you can have a direct line message, so to speak. The reading, all the information will come out, but we are not going to be going through the cards in the way we usually do, because I'm going to hand it over to Spirit, and Spirit's going to take a look at the energy in the cards and decide what needs to be spoken about in any particular moment. Okay? So just give me a moment. I'm just going to be quiet for a sec and hand it right over. Okay, so Spirit would like you to bring your attention to the bottom right hand corner. And it's interesting, that's often where Spirit starts. Before I start to talk about it, take a look at the energy as it moves upward on the diagonal to the top left corner. And just look at that. And Spirit's talking about a staircase, right? It's funny, Spirit's streaming in the background. Wow, there's a song, The Stairway to Heaven. Oh my God, I haven't thought about that in so many years. That's where you're at. Spirit's talking about the stairway to heaven. And, Gemini, I feel like you're on the stairway to heaven every month. So, obviously, a shamanistic journey. There's the beautiful uh, Queen of Battle, the sacred Morrigan. She helps souls move back and forth, win the battles of the soul, okay? She stands very strong, very clear. She's very practical. She has a lot of intention. She is of the mystical realm. She's been through a lot of battles. And indications of the eclipse, right? The Queen of Battle, the sacred Morrigan, who stands in the battlefield helping those who are in battle overcome their obstacles. And she's obviously here to shepherd you on this journey. And she brings safe passage and mystical ability for travel. She delivers the energy on the human realm. And, Spirit says, I know you're looking, but just look across the row on the bottom from the left to the right. Obviously, we're talking about the eclipse, a continuation of your initiation process. So, Spirit's saying, the human walk, the energy, rises through the portal into the gateway, which is what the initiate has to do. So, if you look at the high priestess right literally in the center of the reading, she is here because the initiate stands on the human realm. And she provides the gateway through which the initiate must pass. So if you have an initiation, if you've ever experienced anything like that, one of the things that happens is you have to come to sort of a gateway. Right? You have to, well, it was true for me. You have to approach the place of wherever the ceremony, the initiation is going to be. And then you have to request entry. And you have to stand and talk to somebody like this. And there's a lot of questions that go on. Right? This is the high priestess. She is the guardian of truth. And she is also the gatekeeper. So know as you go through the month that you are going to meet up with this character, Spirit says. And let me toggle back because I want you to just really just gaze into the cards. So on the shamanistically led journey, when you come through the eclipse, in your human realm, okay, Spirit's asking me to show you the card. Okay, I think what Spirit's wanting to do is to sort of lay the foundation of your humanity, your experience of your humanity. So there's the eclipse energy. As an air element, what does it mean to have a moment of eclipse and come through changed forever, standing on the sacred ground of the ancients with destiny turning, becoming within your own life the protector of lore? It's about coming into a place of awareness of the simplicity and the contemplation of joy, simple pleasures, abundance, things like that. Just what it's like to stand outside in a beautiful place on a sunny day. Spirit saying, that's the energy of this eclipse because of all the things that are happening in the sky. And that's what Spirit wants to talk to you about. Right? So the sun's energy creating an eclipse. Spirit's been saying, ponder that within your own energetic set point and what the attenuation of that means. All right, so obviously bringing forward for you another moment where you step deeper in initiation. And the sacred Queen of Battle is there immediately to take up your energy and send it up the stairway to heaven through the guardian of the gateway. And it's interesting because literally you meet the guardian in terms of an alignment in the center column of cards, but you also go through a mystical process with the swirl of your energy when you take this moment of initiation and you receive a gift, something that comes to you, an awareness, it causes your energy, the wind, the sky, the atmosphere to swirl in the way it does and be delivered into the sacred realm of the Queen of Battles so she can carry you forward on this journey clearly you're going on. So, what Spirit's talking about a lot about, and it came out in the Aquarius reading, all about the element of the atmosphere, the element of the wind, the way in which you're being the purpose of it, the way it's meant to vibrate, right? Spirit's was talking with Aquarius about this, and it's coming through again, about the attenuation of your energy and the etheric body and the light body and all the chakras and how we stand in our physical form, and then there are, well, depending on what you believe, 7, 10, 12 layers of energetic body until we get to the point where we're just in the universe, and that is your nature. So the attenuation of that is a profound endeavor, Spirit says, and you are, well, all of us here in this way having these experiences, but attenuated again by the nature of the energy signature that you carry, all the different strings of your energy. And so we're seeing that here. It's really interesting. Okay, so Spirit's going a mile a minute in my head. All right, so back to the stairway to heaven, Spirit says. In both directions. So look at the bottom left and look at the bottom right and look upward diagonally and see the place into which your etheric energies are delivered so that the purpose of the eclipse can come forward within your energy set point to help all inhabitants of this realm. All right, so on the top left, we have Major Arcana, right? The dreamer of growth, the double-headed dreamer able to have the powers of manifestation, the ability to be rooted in the universe, to have a mystical journey, manifestation, intuition, visions, astral travel of the highest sacred order, Spirit says. And in traditional tarot, it's the star card. You guys all know what that means, right? Look at that in relationship to your journey, the place into which you're being delivered. And look at the bottom left. Take a look. There's the eclipse, right? That energy of the sun bringing you into the mystical realm of the guardian of the gateway, which, by the way, if we were doing the reading the traditional way I do it, that's the aspect that indicates you in the reading. You stand as the guardian of the gateway. And Gemini, you are. You are. Spirit's showing me the image of the tree under which I did the reading when I was in Ireland at the Passage Tomb at Douth. It's interesting to me how that keeps coming through. And I think partly because the protector of lore that's on the bottom left, let me toggle back. That's what this is all about, in a sense, in the mythology of the deck, right? Standing in those kind of places and emerging, having had a transformation, being in the simple joy of the sun with full abundance, knowing that you're standing on the sacred ground and destiny is turning, okay? So, of course you're at the gateway. That's literally what the place is, Spirit says. And then as you travel through the gateway and the energy continues to rise, because you are an air sign, and you are about the atmosphere and the etheric light of the universe, you are your energy coming through the days of August, being delivered into the sacred goddess, the alchemist. That is Coventina. She was known as a sacred alchemist. She was very celebrated. This is the other thing that's coming through for every single sign. Because we had the eclipse season initiated by Cancer, there are strings of water element. And if the Spirit says, if you think about your relationship to the water element, you will understand immediately what I'm talking about. Right? So there's the beautiful Coventina. There's the portal. Right? The watery portal from the earthly realm. And she waits in the heavens, and she has her full contemplation on that vessel, and that's you. Mingling the energy together in order to bring forward the destiny that is meant for you. including, Spirit saying, and including, and especially because of your nature as an air sign, the atmosphere in which we live. Think about this. Spirit says, the air that everyone and every creature and every plant respirates. Your energy. But Spirit says that's a lot of responsibility in a certain way, right? So understand, Spirit saying, we're going to drill down deeper and deeper, I think, in the year coming forward about all these notions. And if you want to know a little bit about what that means for me and what that means for Moonrise Cottage, go watch the video, the August video for Virgo. Like this. So within our individual set points, we are all being led, Spirit says, deeper and deeper because the moment has arrived now. We started at the Lionsgate portal last year. We've been through a very deep path of development, and now we're stepping in again. 3 eclipses in a row, Spirit says, and all the trines, and Pluto bringing the power of love energy, standing across the sky from Cancer during a trine of an eclipse. So that's what I feel inside myself. Spirit's going, really, it's like that. Okay? So I'm going to read to you about Coventina because I can't remember if she's come out in your readings, okay? So she is the sacred alchemist. She is also aligned, it's kind of a double goddess thing. She's aligned with another goddess whose name is Rose Merta, who was the churner. All right. So let's see. Coventina is the mingler of energy. The divinatory aspects of this beautiful goddess have to do with sacred combination, coordination, adaptation, harmony, compatibility, and fusion, alchemical tempering, the subtle adjustments of the gifts of experience. So the mingler of energy modifies our actions. It is by her vigorous churning that milk turns to butter, and that our unformulated aspects become solidified. The ability to combine, to draw out the right decision or the idea for the circumstances lies in her gifts. And what is experience teaching you? So, this notion about unformulated aspects becoming solidified. And I think what Spirit is saying to us is that, as each of us goes forward, deeper, we're going deep, right? What is it for an air sign to become solidified? What does that mean? And, I'm sort of feeling this whirl of the air energy, the wind. Spirit was talking to Aquarius about hurricanes and things of that nature. Basically just saying, like Spirit said to you about every being here that needs to respirate is respirating in and out your energy. That's Spirit saying that's not nothing, right? So understand the way in which your energy churns and the purpose of that and the way you can affect the whole entire planet, as Spirit is always saying, you are your purpose. Go deeply into your own energy set point. If you desire a mission, if you have a mission, you'll find it. Otherwise, just go to work and come home and be happy. That's what Spirit says. Don't worry about that stuff. It will evolve if it's meant to. But your purpose is your own being and the attenuation of your energy. Because as you stand here, you affect everything. That's just so beautifully profound. I have more and more respect for the air sign people because, my God. All right, so Spirit says, if you look at the center column, back to the sacred initiate, the dedicator of lore, who puts on the blindfold, jumps into the void like you do, Gemini, takes on the sacred mantle. Spirit said the same thing to Aquarius. You know what? Pick from the bag of runes for yourself. Or go online and look at the runes. And if there's one that particularly draws your attention or you like it or you like the message, get one. You can buy them online and put it on a necklace, right? Or buy a necklace. Put it on your neck and wear it for the next year. And perhaps as we go forward, you will see yourself develop into the energy of that which attracts you. So that's feeling a little bit random. That's what Spirit wants you to know about being in your energy set point. So, of course, if you look up the center column, between the dreamer of growth and the beautiful goddess Coventina, the mingler of energy, there is another goddess that is the empowerment of your will. In order for this vision and this mingling, this alchemical process to go forward. That is why you take the initiation. It's a phenomenal soul intention. Look at the cards in that top row. Spirit's just like with an exclamation point saying, your soul's intention. All right. So the beautiful empowerer of will is the strength card. Right? And I can't remember if you've seen this, but this is a mythological story about a real person. And it's about following the pattern of the energy, the way the rabbit runs. This was a goddess. This was a Celtic, no, actually she was a druid queen, leadership position. And when the Romans were ransacking across the planet, her family was slaughtered. And she rose an insurrection, gathered up an army of her peoples, and paying attention to how the energy ran, she'd bring a hare to the battleground, wait for the armies to amass, open the basket, let the hare run across the battle, and in that way she discovered where the points of power were. And then she knew how to drive her forces into the battle, and she won. I mean, if you think about a ragtag band of druids against the Roman army, that's pretty intense, and they won. Okay, and pushed the Romans out of Ireland, I believe, is the backstory. So, anyways, there's a long story. I won't get into it, but you can look that up online. The empowerment of your will. We see this goddess holding the sacred sword of victory. She's very empowered at the will center. She has her strength firmly in her hand, and her strength rests in her ability to follow the energy that is presented to her. So if you look at the reading, Spirit says keep that in mind. All right. So, in the center row, on the far left, just above the sun card, and sandwiched in between the beautiful dreamer, the star card, we see the foundation of knowledge. And so what Spirit's talking about is as you go through the month with all of the constellations around you and the swirl of the energy, the winds of change, understand that you are standing on a very firm foundation. You stand in the sacred realm as you always do. That is the foundation of knowledge that you have been working and attaining, Spirit says, over the last year. Look at that. It's a fertile moment. We see this beautiful young woman standing with the ancients. There is more growth coming. And that's actually what the prophecy is as the outcome card. Right? So as you look across, you stand in this beautiful foundation. Standing at the gateway as the sacred initiate in this foundation. It's just really beautiful. And then to the right of the guardian of truth, the guardian of the gateway, we see, Spirit says, we see the reflection of your being, the twin. And Spirit's talking about the male-female aspect as always. There's been an enormous amount coming out about that for all the readings. And the air sign readings are just very ethereal. So Spirit is, showing this image, that is a courtship card. It's the courtship of art. Okay. Story about a couple had to overcome an obstacle in order to bind their energy together. And Spirit says this is the important part. And again, it's about the mingling of energy. All right. The obstacle was overcome. Someone was trying to stand between them, and they joined their energies together, and they figured out a way to just sort of gently take care of that without any violence, without any strife. And the person who was standing in their way just got kind of put in a sack and hung on a hook so that their wedding could go forward and everybody was happy, more or less. And the person who's in the sack was sort of greedy and self-involved and unable to connect. And so they invited that person to the wedding and said, hey, come on in, we got a gift for you. And gave that person a bag full of treasure, and the bag swallowed it up. So the Spirit says, and done, right? Easy squeezy. So the way in which you join your energy, the two halves of yourselves, or the people with whom you come in contact and you find a very deep connection, it's about the source of the energy more than it's about the events that surround that kind of a thing. So pay very close attention to the flow of energy and to doing whatever efforts you can to bring the male and female side of yourselves together in line so the spirit realm can churn it and Coventina can do her job. All right. And the strings of your destiny can go forward. That is, again, and it's interesting to me because let me toggle back. That card sits just above the Sacred Queen of Battle, the Morrigan, the Shamaness. So in your relationship with yourself, that also is churning and being brought to a finer point of solidification so that you can really understand yourself. And the outcome card, the purpose for all of that, is another major arcana card. And again, the triple goddess, right? Notions of the triple goddess. That is the beautiful renewer of growth. I'm going to read to you from the book about this. But it's about, again, Gemini, right? There you are. That's the sacred cauldron of healing and growth and movement and change and churn. And that is a representation of all the things that you could think about that are in many different cultures. The three aspects of the soul, the sacred brothers, the sacred mothers, the triple goddess, all of it, okay? And these flowers that we see it resting on, those are elderflowers that still are used to this day for healing, all right? So I'm going to toggle back and we'll take a look at the indications of the energy set point, Spirit says, within the writings that are in the book. One of the things that Spirit is talking about is Spirit saying, I went through the reading this way because I wanted the outcome card and the theme that, and the way I do the reading to be understood as directly linked together. Pardon me. Okay, the renewer of growth actually is the second to the last of the major arcana of the deck. So clearly, the renewer of growth, it's about transformation and bringing matters to resolution. It's about releasing or forgiving, the freedom to act with full power or resources. It's about attaining a new lease on life and recovery of essential focus. And that's why the dedicator of Laura is here. And the way the energy rises through the reading, it is about very intense focus of a certain aspect of your nature. So the renewer shows us the cauldron of rebirth in its entirety for the first time. This is the Gundestrup cauldron. It was found in a bog in Denmark. This silver cult vessel was custom made for a Celtic sanctuary, and it depicts many of the major themes and deities of the Celtic belief system. The three hooded figures depicted here appear in the context of renewal, healing, protection, and fertility. So we've had all those cards coming out in the reading, right? So Spirit's saying this is the cap, but it's also it's interesting. Spirit's talking about astral projection. I was going to say prophecy. Okay, well that makes sense, doesn't it? Okay, so let's see. The triple figures here appear as the triple guardians and the initiates of the cauldron, the spiritual sons of the guardian brigade, as the three forms of the tripartite soul, the triple goddess, the triple mothers. And having experienced the triple spiral of life, the soul is made free, and the circuit of existence is renewed with deeper insight. The renewer of devotion helps to deepen our compassion for the whole universe by bringing us to a better understanding of the patterns of our life and experiences. And the sole question is, where in your life is transformation imminent at this point? So Gemini, there you have it. Spirit says, So thank you very much for continuing your journey. Understand that all of us together are in a process of completion, um, and these moments of eclipse and all the trines and all the retrogrades. Spirit's talking about rocketing forward into the universe. All right, when those things are completed and there's a swirl going on, that's why Spirit's talking about the atmosphere, the energy, the universe, all the things that we've talked about over the past year. That part of your journey has come to fruition, completion, and now is a time for rebirth and renewal going forward as we go into the destiny that is meant for us over the next 2 years, Spirit says. So have a wonderful month. Spirit says just stand in the cauldron. You don't have to do anything. Stand in the energy. Enjoy it. Keep a journal. Buy yourself that necklace or make it or anything Spirit says that helps you understand and encapsulate the journey that you're having and the kind of message that came out through the cards. And I'll be looking, Spirit's saying, I'll be looking ever so much forward to hearing from you in the message thread below the video. So have a lovely month. And I'll look forward to speaking with you again in September. Thanks, everyone.